To answer the debugging questions in this quiz, first open a new tab and go to Tinkercad. Click on Circuits and create a new circuit. Tinkercad gives you a weird default name. Here, this one says Neat Blower Jofo. I'm going to click on that and rename it Quiz. And then I need to add an Arduino to my circuit. Then click on Code and switch it to Text. Now I'm going to go back to the quiz and I'm going to highlight all of the code in this question and copy it either with Control-C or right-click and copy. And then using Control-A or select all, I'm going to delete that and paste with Control-V or paste right here. I'm going to paste the code from that question and then I'm going to start the simulation. Now these are debugging questions, so I should get an error. And sure enough, right here I get a little error message that says something's wrong with my code. When you get your error message, you need to read it. So there's only one error here, so this refers to the first error. You always want to work when you're solving problems with error messages, you want to work from the first error that's shown down because sometimes one error causes a bunch of other errors, and when you fix the first one, it fixes the rest. Here it says that it thinks the error is on line 14 right here, and that it's beginning on character 3. You have to take this part with a grain of salt. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's not. But it does give you an idea of where to start looking. The next part, you're always going to see if it's an error, it's going to say the word error. This part here gives us a clue as to what we need to be looking for. I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to copy it, but I can't do Control-C. I actually have to right click on it and hit copy. For some reason, Control-C doesn't seem to work. Then I'm going to go back to my quiz. I'm going to scroll up just a little bit here and right click on Arduino Games and say Open Link in New Tab. Then when the course opens, I'm going to scroll down here until I see Arduino Troubleshooter. This is a little database of common errors that students make with the corresponding error messages. I'm going to click on Search. And then I'm going to scroll down here to where there's this box that says problem or error message. Well, I'm going to just paste my error message in here and hit enter. Here it says no records were found. That's because this error message that I have is actually too specific. It's not only telling me what it's expecting and where it's expecting, but it's specifically the kind of thing that caused it. This delay here part, this is too specific. So I'm going to delete this and I'm going to try it again. When you are searching for your errors, you might have to delete a little bit off one end or the other. Usually it's off the end to try and make your error message a little bit less specific. And then if you do that, hopefully you get a hit. Here it says found one record right here. And if we look, yeah, expected a semicolon before something. And so here it says you probably forgot to put a semicolon at the end of the line directly above the line indicated by your error message. And the error code here is 1. Well, first things first, this error code is actually the first question we need to answer back in our quiz. That's this part right here. What is the corresponding Arduino troubleshooter error code? Well, we just saw that it was a 1, so I'm going to put a 1 there. And then it says, what line is the error on? Now, if we look at circuits, it says line 14, but if I go over here, it says it's probably above the line. Right here it says above the line indicated by your error message. So let's go back to our circuit and look above line 14 at line 13. And here I can see that it says digital write yellow LED, comma, low, but at the very end there's no semicolon. Well, there's a semicolon here, here, and here. I probably need one here. In fact, I do need one here. So the error is actually occurring on line 13. I'm going to go ahead and put the semicolon in here, and I'm going to put in my quiz question here, what line is the error on? I'm going to put 13 instead of 14 there. And then I'm going to go back to circuits or to Tinkercad, and I'm going to try and run it again. And this time I don't get an error message. So I'm going to hit stop and go back here, and it says fix the incorrect line of code. The easiest way to do this is after you compile your code, just copy the line that you fixed. I'm going to right click and hit copy here, and then paste it right in here. And then just hit check. And you can see that I got all three of these parts correct. If I were to somehow get the question incorrect by misidentifying the error message, the error code, and then blindly following the line indicated by the error message as far as what line the error was on, and then not including the semicolon that should be there. If I were to do those three things, I'd get all three of these questions wrong. If that happens, hover your mouse over each answer and read the feedback. Here it says search for expected semicolon. So this is the thing we're supposed to search for inside the Arduino troubleshooter. It tells us. The next one tells us, it just reminds us that we need to read the solution that's listed in the Arduino troubleshooter. Every once in a while there'll be a couple solutions, and it'll actually indicate which solution, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then down here it actually tells us exactly what was wrong and what we need to do to fix it. So using this quiz, it is my hope that you will get a lot better at debugging your own programs and answering your own questions using the Arduino troubleshooter so that you can progress through this curriculum much more quickly and with greater ease and less frustration.